Or Brandon,
Caleb, are you there? Brandon?
Brandon. There he goes. He got
Here
it.
you go.
Okay, let's call the meeting of the inspectors of the Carbon County Jail to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, these proceedings are being recorded for the sole purpose of preparing accurate written minutes. Recordings are overwritten following approval of the minutes, eliminating all unofficial records of these proceedings. We'll note for the record that our solicitor has to leave and at 2 o'clock, correct? Yeah. Okay. And are there any guests present? All right. We'll move to approval of the minutes for the meeting held, the regular meeting held February 21st, 2024.
Motion approved.
Second.
Rocky second by Mike. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Report of executive sessions. I don't believe we have a report, but I believe we went into executive session after the meeting on February 21st. Does the minutes reflect that?
Yes.
Okay. And we went in on a personnel matter?
Correct.
All right. So the minutes do reflect that. And no report then as a result of that. Before I move down, because I want to, oh, it already was done. No, it wasn't. What we're gonna do is, in the future, when we have new business, old business, and we have a solicitor report on there, we're gonna do away with the solicitor's report. If Bob has anything to address with us, he has nothing to report. I don't wanna ask him if he has anything to report. If he has anything to say, he can say it under new or old business. He feels that it says solicitor report, if he's not here, he feels bad about it. Does anybody have a problem with me removing that from the agenda as an agenda item? That makes it easier if Bob has something else planned, or if he can't make it, then we're not, you know, then I don't have to say, Bob, do you have anything, you never have anything.
All right, thank you.
All right, report of committees, maintenance report.
Sykes Brothers was in for their monthly service. Johnson Control came in to do the annual fire panel, smoke detector, heat detector, inspection and testing. Small Indian Glass was in, measured a cracked window. We're still waiting for the quote. I called them up. They're still waiting for their price from the manufacturer. KFS, Keystone, they were in to work on an issue with the door panel. Allstate was in to pump out the grinder pit and clean out the pumps. Trumco was in to look at the rooftop units and the duct system. Sills was in to fix the right washer machine. Penn Power was in because we had an alarm on the generator. They're waiting for the parts to come in for that. Johnson Controls came in, I had them there 2 days. They fixed some of the issues with the cameras, but they told me they'll be back, I don't know when. I messaged Hayden, he hasn't told me when they'll be back to work on some of the other issues. Submitted the monthly dweller report to DEP, that's the drinking water report. We changed out the two indoor air filters at the dog shelter, and we're gonna plan on doing that the first week of every month because they were pretty dirty. The Johnson Controls came back again another day to work on the cameras. Sills was in to work on the left washing machine, and then there's a yearly report that I submitted to DEP. In addition to that, Train was there today because we had no heat in one of the units. So that'll be in next month's report, but I figured I'd mention it because it's the oldest unit.
In regards to your cameras, I was not involved in those conversations that they may have had with you at the prison regarding your software, your
Right.
servers, all of those things. Is there a benefit to scheduling an in-person meeting to set some guidelines for them with some dates for them to accomplish it? Because every month we're hearing the same thing over and over again.
Right.
They show up for 2 days and then they're not back.
I mean, they did figure out, like, the initial, when Hayden was there before, he put the one camera in, that we could see it on the computers, but not on the one screen. And they sort of figured out what they need to do, but it is a lot of work in order to move forward with that. And the guy, Chris, that came in on the first date here, he figured it out, but like I said, it was a long process to get everything done, so each camera will have to be done in the same process.
But it just, to me, it doesn't seem like there's a plan,
Right,
and I think we need a plan.
Yes.
Unless you disagree. You
no,
don't disagree.
absolutely, I think the
So-
sooner we can get them there I mean, I would think it's gonna take them at least a week, week and a half to get everything to where changed over. But then Hayden also had a couple of suggestions, he goes, if we're gonna be doing that, maybe they can change the programming as well, but that's something higher up to be talked about. Because I was under the impression that last year's contract was supposed to take care of the changeover.
So it sounds like we'll need to schedule a meeting, so
You are exactly right, we see him for one day, then we don't see him for 6 weeks, maybe longer.
I'll work with you, Warden, and we'll try to get something scheduled and get a plan.
That'd be good.
Any other questions for Rodney under the maintenance report? Okay, work release report.
Good afternoon, everyone. Submitted to the board is the monthly work release report. Participation numbers and revenues are submitted for the month of February, and also included is the in-house work report. If there's any questions, I can try to answer those.
Anybody have any questions on the work report? Okay, if there's no questions, then we'll move over, plan of action committee,
No report.
we have no report, we have to set up another meeting. Okay, warden's report.
Okay, the following report is from February 1st, 2024 to February 29th. The 56 male admissions, 21 female admissions, 66 male releases, or 66 male releases, 19 female releases. Average daily population in February was 147. Total population as of 2/29 was 115 males, 21 females for 136. We had 24 transports, or hospital runs for the month of February. 8 to the hospital, 2 to orthopedic, 13 for specialists, 1 to an eye doctor. I just want to bring up the specialist, we had a guy going out for dialysis 3 times a week, that's why the number got.
Yeah, it was a little higher than it was before.
But he has been, since been released, so the numbers are now back to normal. And I believe that completes the report.
Anybody have any questions for the warden? Let's take a motion to accept the warden's report.
Motion approved.
Wayne, second by Dan, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Oh, so we could let the record reflect, I understand that Judge Nanovic isn't here, none of the judges were available, so they're both excused, and they'll be excused as resumed to the meeting. All right, Warden, are we gonna need an executive session? Does anybody feel we need that? Well, we'll push it to the end, okay? We'll deal with it. What's it, is it related to personnel?
Yeah, both issues are.
Okay.
And there's a security issue.
And a security issue, okay. So let the record reflect that we will go into executive session after this meeting for purposes of 2 personnel matters and a security issue. Personnel report. That's attached.
There is one item on the personal report that I want to talk about in the executive session.
Okay, alright. So we'll accept the personnel report, with the exception of what's in the executive session. Are we gonna have to act on that? I think that's why we have the executive session in before the personnel report. Is this one that you wanna discuss something in executive session and then we're gonna come out and act on the personnel report?
Yeah.
Alright, then we're gonna adjourn right at this
Okay, Caleb, you can bring us,
What's the next?
Caleb, you can bring us back up.
Grant meeting at 3, that's 50 minutes from now.
What time is it? Let the record show that the prison board will reconvene at 2:08 from executive session. Mr. Green?
Okay, so we're back on, we went into executive session on a couple personnel matters and, a security issue. So let's move on to the personnel report. I believe that a motion would be in order then to approve the,
I will make a motion to approve the personnel report, items 1 through 9, with the exception of number 4.
Second.
for a second, okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, anything under, we did form that ad hoc grant committee, like, you wanna address that?
Yes, we've been working on it, obviously. There was a grant received from COVID to some air handlers or air conditioning and ventilation up at the county prison. There were time constraints put on there. There was no way that replacement could take place within the time frame that was given as per the grant. So what the county has been working on is getting it cleaned and kind of rehab the best we can. We are working on getting prices on that. We currently do have some pricing. We're working that out to see if the allocation from the grant money can be moved from what would have originally been replacement to basically cleaning. And it is considerably more, money than what was originally, because a lot of this was done during and pre-COVID, and we're working on that. I know that Commissioner Arner has been very busy speaking with everyone he can to try to get them up there, but it's not as easy as you think to get done. But we are there with that. As far as the shed and the safety equipment, that I have no report on. I don't know if the sheriff has anything on that.
I thought they were gonna collect receipts for the COVID reimbursement.
Yes, I believe, Eric
Yeah.
was gonna get that all together and get it over to Paul.
So once we receive all of those receipts, we will also submit them to be reimbursed to the county for what was purchased at that time.
And I would imagine we'll need some quotes for the shed.
Yes, I would say that would be in order.
Okay.
I believe we have those receipts, because that's initially how this thing started. We had only $79,000, and we're talking shed and PPE equipment, so Paul should have all that stuff already.
Okay.
He did say he had it in a file somewhere, but he was looking for somebody to break it out as to where everything would go. I'll ask
I
for
thought we had
that
that as well. but-
at 3 o'clock.
Okay, I do know we have a grants meeting at 3 o'clock, correct?
Yeah.
And I'm sure that'll come up in that meeting.
It was my understanding that the people who volunteered from this group were gonna meet separately to work through those things and just report back, so I guess we can talk to Paul. Who was on that? Kayla, it was you, Mike, Paul?
No, Rocky.
No.
Well, it's not-
No, I know
only one
Rocky.
member of prison.
No, no,
I
he
do know
was
what-
For the
Oh, yeah,
grant, for
okay,
the grant piece.
alright.
Like I said, we did work through what we could with the air.
Rodney and Derek
Derek,
and me and Mike.
okay. So I would just, if you could it seems like it would be beneficial maybe if you get with Derek to regularly schedule meetings so that we can get Paul whatever he needs or get whoever what they need so that it doesn't fall off because that clock is ticking.
Like I said, the biggest part of that was handling the air conditioning units, and that we have the answers. It's just a matter of now if it can be reallocated, and if it can't, then I gotta be honest with you, I don't know what happens with that amount that's written in the grant. We may.
Well, and if it is like that, if they don't approve that higher amount, then instead of doing 11 units, we just do 9.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not that we're gonna not clean any of it, but there might not be enough money there just to do, and I didn't realize there was 11 units there. Like, there's all kinds of different, it's not the main unit, it's like other ones that branch off of the main unit. So whatever we can get done, get done.
Okay, moving on, any new business? Any old business? Correspondence?
Thank you.